Hey family, it's Queen D, and welcome to day 18 of Deepening Our Relationship with God. Today, I just want to remind you that you are not behind. You have not been left behind, forgotten. God is right on time with the things that He is about to do in your life. And so that will be my encouragement today. It's a couple of things that I've jotted down, so I'm excited to share that with you guys. Like I said, you did not miss your moment. Time has not been wasted. You are starting over at a perfect time. You are starting over and it's not too late, right? Let me tell you a little bit about God. God is not a God that sits in time, okay? He sits outside of time. And so God is not bound to a calendar. He is not bound to a season. He is not bound to the 24 hours that we get in one day. God is always moving and He is always on time for everything that He has for you to encounter in your life. God doesn't follow a clock. That is my number one point. If you haven't caught it yet, God timing isn't bound to a calendar or a clock. Ecclesiastic 3:11 says, He has made everything perfect in its time, not rushed, not random, and it's beautiful, right? God, I have another scripture that I want to share with you guys, and it was just so beautiful and on time with what we are talking about now. It is 2 Peter 3:8-9. It reads, Do not forget this one thing, dear friends. With the Lord, a day is like 1,000 years, and 1,000 years is like a day. Let me tell you, the Lord is not slow at keeping His promises. If God has promised you something, I don't care if you feel like, hey, it's too late, I'm getting older, I'm not going to be able to do it. Let me tell you, I'm going to lead you into this next point because it's going to give you revelation on why it is not too late. Just because it's taking longer than you thought doesn't mean that it is too late. God's not in a rush. He's building something deep. And so when God is dealing with this or whatever He has in your life, when God is in the midst, God is not in a rush, right? And let me tell you, with my point number 2, delay does not mean counsel destiny. It does not mean that you are being denied. Moses didn't start walking in his calling until 80 years old, okay? When I heard that, it shocked me. I was like, Moses, you was a man of great strength. I know God had to be walking with you to lead so many people at the age of 80 years old. Not only that, Sarah was 90 when she birthed Isaac. That right there blows my mind. Sarah's womb was producing and was prepared to birth what God had given her to birth. Jesus, our greatest example, He did not start His ministry publicly until He was 30 years old. So although culture may make us feel like 30 is so old, but let's just tell you, 30 is the new 18. 30 is the new 18 with great wisdom. God isn't looking at your age or timeline. He's looking for a yes. He's looking for a ready heart. And that brings me to my number 3. Okay? Come a little closer so y'all can hear it. Okay, come on. Everybody come in. You're being prepared, not passed over. Right? Okay. Let me say it one more time. You are being prepared, not being passed over, meaning God is not passing over what He has given you to do. If it's not happening yet, it does not mean that you are forgotten. God remembers you, what you have been praying for. He knows what He plans to do in your life. And so it's because I say that point because it's because God is preparing you for the right moment. God is always in the business of giving us that thing at the right moment, the right time, when we're mature enough, when we're developed, when we know how to steward it, right? It says, I have another scripture and I'm going to go to it. I want to read it just like it is in the word. It's 1 Corinthians 13:11. It says, When I was a child, I spoke like a child. I thought like a child. I reasoned like a child. But when I became a man, I put away childish things. Let me just tell you, God has created us and wired us, and He knows all about us. And I know as a child, I made some bad decisions, okay? They wasn't the worst decisions. Let me just say that. They wasn't the worst decision. But let's just say they wasn't the best decisions to make as a child. And I reasoned as a child, right? When my mom tried to tell me something, I reasoned with her in my mind, because I wasn't bold enough to say it with my mouth, but I reasoned with her in my mind thinking this cannot be real. But let me just tell you, when I became an adult and became a mother, okay, I understood the power that God was actually creating me into who He had called me to be. That I was a child, I reasoned like a child. When I became an adult, I began to flourish as an adult, right? I began to seek wisdom in a better way. And so I have another scripture that I jotted down, all right? Isaiah, and it goes back to how He's preparing you for the right moment. Isaiah 60:22 says, all the right time, I, the Lord, will make it happen, not a moment too soon or too late. God will make it happen for you. He will not make it a moment too soon or a moment too late, because guess what? He wants you to enjoy the fruits of your labor. He wants you to enjoy it without the enemy coming in and you're ill prepared and he just snatches it away from you. So my sister and my brother, you are right on time for your assignment. Drop purple hearts in the comments if it's anything that I said that really touched your heart. Or if you want to share a testimony with someone else about you wanting to rush God's time. Look, this is day 18. Again, I am so excited. And you need to know that delayed time does not mean denial. It means that He is preparing you for something greater. Be blessed. Trust God's timing. I cannot wait to see you for day 19. I love you, and there's nothing that you can do about it. Be blessed.